I recently was just talking to one of our students in majors in digital retail, and she just did an internship with Crate and Barrel, and she was very happy to tell me, this was in her third week or something, when she said, they were so impressed that I know how to use SEMrush. They were like, I've not seen students who know how to use SEMrush, leave alone search marketing.
That is impressive.
Yes. So she was very excited about that.
Hello everyone. Today I get to wear my favorite green tie because I am on the University of North Texas campus here in Denton, and I'm here with Malini Ratnam, who is a professor at UNT, and we are here to tell you about this very unique program in digital retailing, which I think is very relevant for every professional in the e-commerce space, or really anyone with an interest in e-commerce. So Malini, thank you so much for having me here today. It's always a pleasure for me to be in Denton.
Thank you so much, Francois. This was an incredible opportunity, not just for you, but for me to really talk a lot about our program, which I absolutely love.
But before we start, I would like to share a quick story, the story about how I found out about this program. So already 5 years ago, when I moved to Dallas, I had to hire an intern to help me with the e-commerce department of the company I work for. And I posted an offer online, and I get a bunch of resumes from UNT, from SMU, UTD, basically all over Dallas. And when I look at the resume, I saw a lot of majors, of course, marketing, business, finance, even some more exotic majors like IT. But there was one that stood out to me, and it was called digital retailing. And I was not too sure what it's all about. So I interviewed a few students, and one of my questions was, hey, can you please tell me more about this program? What classes you are taking, what projects you are working on, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I was very impressed with the answers I got. They told me so many great things. So I hired my first UNT students. Mm-hmm. And Lindsay, if you're watching this, I hope you are doing well. And from there, I always hired UNT students. I always had the best experience. And I think this is a great program, so that's why I wanted you to tell me more about it. So can you tell me more about yourself, what you do here, and tell us about the program, its history, how it started, and where it is now, what classes you are teaching, and basically what needs this is addressing in the industry?
Sure, absolutely. But again, thank you so much, Francois, not just for this opportunity, but for such wonderful words about our students, because I totally and 100% stand behind what Francois said. There's nothing better than having a live testament from someone who is an advocate of our program. So I'm Malini Ratnam, as Francois just introduced me. I have been a professor here for about 3 years as a full-time professor. And prior to that, I was an adjunct professor here at UNT. And even prior to that, my background is I've been in the industry for almost 22, 23 years. Doing digital marketing and social media for retailers, specifically like JCPenney and Kohl's, etc. And I came here to teach really with no prior experience in teaching, if I can be very transparent, but I've absolutely embraced, loved, and completely stand behind this program because I truly think that the digital retailing program brings to students a lot of not just knowledge about e-commerce and digital marketing, but also, some very hands-on practical information that when the students graduate, they are what I would call career ready. Mm-hmm. So I think we're really trying to, enhance and develop this program. I also happen to be the digital retailing curriculum coordinator. So I'm very close to the curriculum and I'm very proud of it, and we continue to keep it evolving and growing to meet the needs of the industry. So I think there were other questions in the first question that you had is how this program started or the history about it. And I know it dates back to probably during the time that there was a digital, even after the digital boom, when in 2007, 2008, when e-commerce was obviously at its peak. That's the time the program was actually introduced. And since then, it has evolved. We've kind of kept a pulse on the industry. Mm-hmm. It's gotten several names. And I personally wasn't here, but I know in talking to some of my colleagues, I've heard that it used to be called digital commerce, e-commerce, or electronic commerce. Now it's called digital retailing because I think somewhere around 2016, 2015, 2016 is when that terminology was becoming very popular. So once again, we definitely keep a pulse on the industry to understand what the needs are. And so the program isn't new. And so it continues to be evolving and introducing new elements as we go. So I hope that answers my question.
Yeah, of course. But I have one more question because,
Yes.
I'm very familiar with the program. And when I heard more about digital retailing, when I first went to UNT campus, I was like, where was this program 10 years ago when I was starting in the field?
Yeah.
But the first time I saw digital retailing on a resume, I wonder what's the difference between this program and something more traditional, like a degree in marketing, for example.
Yep.
So why would a student major in digital retailing rather than marketing, business, or finance?
Fabulous. That's a great question. Thank you. So there's a lot of elements within this program that, for instance, digital marketing is one of it, and I teach digital marketing as well. But the focus is on retail. And as you're very familiar because you have hired students from us, DFW is full of retailers. We have so many big retailers headquartered here. And so it becomes a prime program to actually service those industries. It is very specific to, as I said, e-commerce and retail. So even though there are all the elements of business and marketing that you would get in a traditional business school, the focus here is on retail. It's on, and we are also part of the College of Merchandising, Hospitality, and Digital Retail. So we kind of have those travel, retail, it's a mix. And I think the students get an exposure of all that when it's time for them to actually get out into the real world and apply for jobs. That is what they are actually exposed to. And so the kind of adoption rates from companies like yours, like other companies that come looking for students like that with those skill sets, makes it very easy for them to hire our students.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of how ready they are and the practical skills they develop, because I've worked with maybe 5-10 students, and it was always very easy for me to work with them because I feel like they already knew how to do some of the work.
Yes.
But I think you have a much better view of the overall student population. So what kind of hands-on experience would you say the student gets during this program, and how ready they are to enter the workforce when they graduate?
Absolutely. So I really like to answer that question, maybe taking a slight step back and even saying how the student becomes ready when it comes to e-commerce. So I always like to describe this as, what does a student really learn when they come to this program? It's everything from getting a website developed. They learn how to develop a website. They then learn how to drive traffic to that website, which is essentially digital marketing. So that is everything from search engine optimization, email marketing, social media marketing, how to create a digital strategy, how to understand what the customer needs are, how to develop a customer journey and a profile, and then develop a marketing strategy. And then finally, they will also learn things like supply chain, what happens from start to finish. We're just launching. You asked about practical applications, so there's specific things, like I said, the hands-on, how to build a website. That's a very practical thing. Our students are actually very proud of that project. I mean, they love to take that class and then talk about or post on LinkedIn even and say that we built this website.
And I have a story about this project. I think I never told you, but one time I was interviewing a student for an internship at the company I work for. And on the resume, there was this website she built. I think it was part of a project at UNT.
Right.
And during the interview, I don't think she was expecting it, but I pulled a website on the TV, and she looked terrified. And then the VP of sales at my company, he entered the meeting room and he saw the website, and he joined the interview.
Wow.
The student was completely terrified.
Wow.
But we were very, very impressed with what she did.
Yeah.
The website looked very professional, and I think that's a huge plus for companies hiring students. We feel like they are ready to enter the workforce.
Absolutely. Thank you. That's a beautiful example. So that's one thing. And then we have launched some new tools that they now learn. Things like SEMrush, which is a search engine optimization and marketing tool that they can use. So they learn how to do keyword research. They learn how to pick keywords, how to look at competitors and understand, what should go on your website in terms of optimizing the site. Then we also teach them how to build Facebook ads, how to set that up. Then a brand new partnership that we have a very proud to announce and introduce is our partnership with Salesforce. So we have just launched a program called, which is digital CRM essentially, where they learn how to use Salesforce and how to apply that to, aspects of whether it's email or SMS, but understand how customers operate. So by the time they graduate, they have SEMrush, they have, as I said, the website development, then they have Salesforce. So those are skill sets that they are very proud to talk about. And I will say, just like you had an example, I recently was just talking to one of our students in majors in digital retail, and she just did an internship with Crate and Barrel, and she was very happy to tell me, this was in her third week or something, when she said, they were so impressed that I know how to use SEMrush. They were like, I've not seen students who know how to use SEMrush, leave alone search marketing.
That is impressive.
Yes. So she was very excited about that. And I just hope that, I think it's a matter of time that people get to know about it and become more aware, because even students, they're discovering this as they go. And as they get these tools, they're so proud to talk about it. It's just that's going to be our advocates, I think, to introduce other people to the program.
And that's something I love about this program. I've been working with UNC for the past 5 years. And e-commerce is moving fast. There's always new things, new technologies,
right,
new platforms to advertise. And I feel like UNT is doing a great job at adapting the program and staying up to date.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, even from the name, I think to evolving the name, to coming up with the tools and understanding, what is required. We also tend to, talk a lot with we have a lot of our industry, people from the industry on our board. So we constantly go back and ask, our board members like yourself as to what is required, in the industry. And then that actually helps us evolve the program as we go, because it helps us understand what the real needs are that people want.
Mm-hmm. And talking about industry partners, or even you mentioned the students working at Cracker Barrel.
Yes.
Do you have any success story to share about either an industry partner or some students you've worked with?
Absolutely, yeah. There's actually quite a few. So I'm just going to give you general examples. We've had students who, I particularly remember one who, I actually invited to be a guest speaker. She is a VP of marketing at Fenty Beauty now. She graduated from this program, I think, 8 years ago. We have some others who have joined, luxury fashion, Louis Vuitton, they actually host our students when we go on study tours. So that's another thing, just to throw that in there. We do give our students an opportunity to go visit, again, practical, understand, take them to New York to understand what merchandising and fashion merchandising looks like. We take them to places like the Silicon Valley to understand what digital, marketing and strategies look like in actual real companies. So Louis Vuitton was one example. We have some students who've actually become entrepreneurs while in the program. So they launched a product while they were doing their merchandising program, and then now have a very successful businesses that they have launched as well. And then of course there's JCPenney, there's, all the companies here, JCPenney, Signet Jewelers, Zales, which is Signet, which it's kind of become this conglomerate now of companies, which also now some of them are on our board. So Michaels is another example where a lot of our students have been recruited there as well.
Yeah, and that's something I like about this program. Another thing is that is not just about the courses and the project and the exams.
Yep.
I think students are doing a lot more. I know you are taking them to study tours, to a conference, the one in New York,
yes.
NRF.
Yes.
they enter competitions. I'm mentoring the students for one of these competitions.
Yep.
So I think they do a lot more than just taking classes and graduate. Because academics is important, don't get me wrong, but I think students going the extra mile is very important for them in the long term.
Absolutely. I think, and again, thank you for bringing that up, because the National Retail Federation, which also we happen to be a member of that organization, as you rightly know, the Fashion Scholarship Fund, again, which you're mentoring students. So those are wonderful opportunities outside the classroom, as you said, and what really helps the students is having mentors like you, because they work with students one-on-one. They get to understand what it is like to be a part of the industry, even if it is for a short period of time. They get advice from the mentors, and that helps them, come up or maybe even win some of these scholarships, because some of these gives them the opportunity and the exposure to network. Mm-hmm. So that makes it really valuable. And I think, like you said, outside or inside the classroom, it's a holistic experience for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is there anything else you would add about this program? Anything we did not cover today?
I will only say that we have so much to offer, and we like we've covered that it is such a well-rounded program. We really need a lot more. I think support from our students, mentors, industry, and I think you've kicked this off with this wonderful opportunity. But we need that to really let the world know that this program exists, because I think there is so much this has to offer, and there are so many of our actual students that are out there. But it is a matter of bringing that awareness and getting people to know that this is a very hands-on, practical, that makes students completely career ready, so they're ready to get that job as soon as they graduate. So that's all I will end with.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I think more people and more students should know about this program, because I had so many students telling me when I asked them how they found out about this program, they just talked to someone or found out about it by looking at the website randomly. Yeah. But once they got a good idea of what this was about, they fell in love with the program. And I think I never met a student who regretted their choice.
Yep. So it's a matter of bringing them, bringing that knowledge and that awareness and bringing them into the doors of our college.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So thank you again for having me here today. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.